We are live. My name is Zane Stevens. I'm the founder of Protea Financial, and we are live for the second time in season 2 here on Protea Academy YouTube channel. Um, took a little break, sort of recouped, put myself together after our first video where we celebrated 9 years as an accounting business looking after the wine industry. Started to sort of think about what would I like to talk about in this season 2? What are the topics that I think are important that business owners or aspiring accountants would like to hear? So when thinking of the topics, I thought I decided to start with aspiring accountants. And today I wanted to talk about why accounting. Why would somebody choose to go into a career of accounting? So I'll start by telling you my sort of journey a little bit. I've explained this in some other places before, but for those who don't know, I sort of fell into accounting as it would be. During my high school years, I was really good at math. Numbers came easy to me. And during those times, accounting was offered as a subject in high school. So when it came to entering the 10th grade and I had to choose my subjects, I selected accounting. Why not? Good at numbers. How much difficult can accounting be? Turns out I was pretty good at that as well. I got really good grades, really came pretty easy to me. With the idea of both accounting and math coming easy to me, guidance counselors, parents, the likes all said, you got to go study accounting. So I said, sure. Why not? Don't really know what this means, but we'll go do it. We'll become an accountant. And honestly, nothing at high school level, none of these conversations I had, and really nothing at the university level really explained to me what my future would look like. There's a lot of these explanations of, hey, you'll have so many opportunities. You can go into any line of business you want to. Doesn't really make sense. And honestly, it was easy for me because the path I took to become a chartered accountant, which is the course I studied, I was told go do that, become a chartered accountant, to have all the opportunities sort of set forward what I was going to do in the future. I knew how to do my undergrad, my postgrad, and then I'd head off to a CPA firm, an audit firm, and go do my traineeship, my articles. And I went through that process. All through this time, I'm studying accounting. Accounting is what I'm learning to do. I'm going to become an accountant. Lo and behold, I'm at this firm. Accounting knowledge wasn't that important. What I was busy with at that point is auditing. I had to audit somebody's books to see if their people were putting controls in place and making sure that they were recording their information accurately. I was checking that they were doing their accounting correctly, even if sometimes I didn't really know what that accounting should be in the first place. But I had a procedure document and I followed them and I ticked and bashed and got the evidence I needed to. I eventually left my firm where I was at KPMG and headed off and actually took up a real accounting job. I took up a position with the title of a management accountant where I was involved in a company, a large company, where I was a cog within their accounting department to make sure that the accounting statements were accurate for the business unit I was looking after, with a big emphasis on month-end close, making sure that the information that has come through the month is both complete and accurate, and that it gives a true reflection of that business during the period of time. Really, 3 years of studying accounting at school, 4 years at university, almost 4 years of time at KPMG, I eventually figured out what accounting was. So, a journey to figure it out of almost 15, 3 plus 4 plus 3, so 10 years before I actually figured out what it was. And what I can tell you is accounting is record keeping. You're taking information that happened in that business, decisions that business owners have made, and trying to record that history so that if you look back on it, somebody can understand what is going on. Sounds pretty boring, but it's not. It's fun. There's the other part of accounting, which is problem solving, decision making, guidance, providing insight, all these really, really good things. I might have not really understood what I was getting into when I started it, but I'm extremely happy that I eventually got into accounting. I am very thankful to the people that pushed me that way. They clearly saw something in my personality and my style, the way I operate, that they understood that accounting would be important for me. But this is the important part. Just because you're good at numbers doesn't mean you're going to be good at accounting. I think being good at numbers is really important to be part of accounting because you really do need to at least be able to think logically and get the numbers right. But two of the more important things I think is logical thinking, being able to look at a straight path and decide what's going on through there, and you be able to like people. This is one of those things that totally gets underestimated. If you want to go into accounting, you're going to have to deal with people all the time. So sometimes I feel like, oh, you're an introvert. You should go do accounting. You'll just be you and your numbers. Absolute BS. If you're getting into an accounting qualification, you will be dealing with people all the time. Getting information out of people is 80% of the job. You're trying to guess what happened with very little information other than a few bills and invoices going out. So you have to be able to communicate with people to get that information. So if you want to be an accountant, be prepared to deal with people. Don't forget about that portion of it. I also think if you are considering, some sort of qualification in accounting and going in the accounting direction, there's a couple of other skill sets that you can think about developing through your time. You could develop these in high school, you could develop them during university or college time, or if you're just starting out in your career, you can work on them. And even if you're a veteran of the space and you had a job for a long time, these are probably things that you can work on a daily basis. The first one is probably a little harder to sort of get going, but the ability to problem solve is really, really important. Being able to take a little bit of information and try create a conclusion based on the amount of facts you have to bounce it off other people and see if you're correct is really important. You have to want to be able to problem solve. You have to like to be able to problem solve, and you need to have some sort of ability to do it. The best accountants out there are problem solvers. Mentioned it earlier, but another skill set that you should be working on if you want to be a good accountant is communication skills. Being able to communicate with people in writing and verbally is going to be very, very important. Even I, who is a remote bookkeeper, I work from my home 90% of the time. I still have to be able to pick up a phone or sit on a video phone call and be able to communicate with people to get the answers to solve the problems. Learn to communicate. Make sure you're learning to be clear, concise, and to the point. There's a lot of things going on in businesses, and people want to be able to quickly digest what you're asking them and give you the best answer that they possibly have. Once you get that information, back to the problem solving, right? Is what I'm asking them and the answer they're giving us matching up? Do they make sense? Can I take this information and problem solve? So 2 skills, if you want to be an accountant, that I think you really need to work on is problem solving and communication. A couple of traits that you can sort of think about as well, like if you're thinking, well, I like numbers, I'm okay to deal with people, I like problem solving, my communication might need some work, but I'm up for it. I feel like I can do this. But what's going to make me a good accountant? What's going to make me a good bookkeeper? And there's 2 things that I always think about that really show for me the difference between a good and a great bookkeeper or a good and a great accountant are the ability to be reliable. People want to have an accountant that they feel like they can trust. If they want to have an accountant who, if they say they're going to do something, they actually go ahead and do it. A reliable bookkeeper is a great bookkeeper. A reliable bookkeeper with moderate talent is going to trump an extremely talented but unreliable bookkeeper 10 out of 10 times. Reliability can trump talent. So that is a skill set, a trait that you want to develop early. The other skill set, a trait that I think is really, really important is being consistent. Be consistent in your communication, be consistent in your personality, be consistent in your work life, Be consistent in your deliverables. Consistency builds trust. Trust builds reliability. Big circle, trust and reliability, consistency, all of these things go hand in hand. So be reliable, be consistent, and it'll move you from good to great. So if anybody's asking me the question of why accounting, it's a hell of a career. It's a great place to be. Everybody needs an accountant. There's so many different ways you can go. You could go tax, bookkeeping, accounting, management account, controller, CFO, FP&A. There is just a ton of stuff you can do within that sphere of accounting, and it will give you a lot of steps to go in other places. There are a lot of people in operations, general managers, people that go on to be CEOs. Accounting is a wonderful place to have your career, but assess early. Is this something I feel like I can do? Do I like numbers? Can I solve problems? Am I able to communicate? But also go, is this something I feel like it works for me? I want to communicate with people. I want to solve their problems. I love being an accountant. I'm very thankful for the people that push me that way, but it is not necessarily for everybody. It can be tiring. It can be daunting, and you don't get a lot of thanks. I 100% recommend a career in accounting, but if you don't feel it and you just feel like somebody's pressurizing you into it, reconsider. There's a lot to love about accounting. It's very important to the success of a business, but it isn't for everyone. I'm thankful that accounting is for me. I'm going to try to spread my love for accounting to others. I want people to come into this profession. It is just amazing. Till next time. Bye.